Welcome to Southaven Business Beat. Business and community leaders talk with us to provide invaluable resources to aid the business community.
Southaven Business Beat is sponsored by Wisdom Integrators.
Hey business owners, when's the last time your tech actually worked for you? At Wisdom Integrators in Southaven, we help businesses like yours run smoother, look sharper, and reach farther. From dependable IT support and secure networks to custom websites that convert, and video systems that actually work when you need them. No cookie cutter fixes, no long waits, just smart, reliable solutions that grow with your business. Whether you're launching, scaling, or just tired of doing it all yourself, Wisdom Integrators is your behind-the-scenes tech partner so you can focus on running your business, not chasing down IT problems. Call 901-625-0900 or visit wisdomintegrators.com to schedule a free consult today. Wisdom Integrators. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom.
And now here's your host, Aaron Kozort.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Southaven Business Beat. I'm Aaron Kozort with Wisdom Integrators, and we're joined today by Courtney Pinkston from Fund the Nations. Courtney, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Great. Well, we're glad to have you. Tell us just a little bit about yourself.
So I am Courtney. As Aaron said, I'm married to John Pinkston. He works in IT in Olive Branch at a company called Goodwin PC. And we have two sweet girls, May and Annie. May is 8 and Annie is 6. And they're usually my tag-alongs. They were supposed to be here with me today, but last minute, John swung in and swooped and picked them up. And they were really bummed that they couldn't be in here and look at all the equipment. I am a homeschool mom, so I do a cottage school program where the girls are in school 3 days a week. And then we homeschool on Mondays and Fridays. And I work full-time at Fund the Nations, and I'm involved at my church, Colonial Hills in Hernando.
All right. So Fund the Nations, what is that, and what does that mean?
Yeah, so Fund the Nations launched in 2008. It's actually a really cool story. Our founder, Bubba Crowder, created this in his garage. He saw that there was a need for high school students and college students who were going on mission trips, and maybe they couldn't afford to go or really wanted to take initiative to pay for it themselves instead of asking their parents or family members. He saw that there was a need, and so he thought, okay, T-shirts is probably a good way to do it because everyone loves T-shirts. So he was a student pastor at the time, and so he had this audience in his hands, and he started designing T-shirts and launched a fundraiser, and it went really well. And since then, we've helped raise, I believe, around $60 million for people who are fundraising. Fundraising for mission trips, fundraising for adoptions, fundraising to launch nonprofits, fundraising to do sports, pretty much anything you can fundraise for. We're happy to help them. So that's how Fund the Nations launched. We've been around since 2008, and we're going strong.
So as you think about Fund the Nations, you think about your background. Are there any fun facts that in your background that kind of correlate with Fund the Nations in the early days?
Yeah, so I actually have a master's degree in journalism, and my goal in life was that I wanted to climb the corporate ladder. My plan was to live in Memphis, never get married, and I was just going to climb the ranks. I was going to work for, a Fortune 500 company and just keep on going. And there's just a funny story related to that. So I fell in love, and of course that happens, and things change. And through a series of events, my heart kind of turned toward missions, toward giving people a way to serve and go and make disciples. And so that is really how I ended up at Fund the Nations. The plan was that I was going to work in PR and marketing and do what any other 20-something would do. But things changed, and so that's how I ended up at Fund the Nations. It was a little bit of a leap of faith because I was going to do more of a marketing role, and I ended up in fundraising.
Right.
So I started working at FTN in 2016 and just solely helping people fundraise through T-shirts. And I thought, this is crazy. Like, I told my mom, and she was like, what, you're going to work for a T-shirt company? Yeah, Mom, I'm going to, because I think that is what I'm supposed to do. And he has just really blessed me in getting to be with different types of people and gaining a lot of knowledge about things that I didn't know anything about. adoption, for example.
Right.
I mean, when I
Right.
started working at FTN, I knew nothing about adoption, what all it entailed, how much it cost, the hoops that you had to jump through to bring your child to their forever home. And so it's been really cool to pivot and be in that world, and kind of a full circle moment. And when the pandemic hit in 2020, my position changed a little bit at FTN, and I started doing more of a marketing role. So
Right,
here we are
right.
almost 10 years later, and I am using my degree to do
Yes.
fun things like podcasting and writing blogs and building websites and things
Right,
like that. So it has been a really cool, unexpected adventure.
Awesome. So T-shirts for fundraising, there's got to be a process to this, because I'm quite certain not everybody can do this successfully unless there's a process.
Right.
So walk me through what that process looks like.
So it's really easy. We have a team of people that walk with you from the very beginning step all the way to the end. So what you would do is you would go to our website, fundthenations.com, fill out the form, and it will ask you a few simple questions like, what are you fundraising for? If you're fundraising, because side note, we also do things that aren't related to fundraising.
Right.
Fundraising is our bread and butter. And then from there, it goes to our project management system. One of our fundraising coordinators reaches out and they ask you a few more questions. Usually someone has an idea of what they want to create. If they're doing a t-shirt, or if they want to do a hat or a tote bag, they'll say, okay, I really want a globe with the words "Go and Tell" on it.
Okay.
And we have a team of designers on staff that take their idea and bring it to life. The really cool thing about FTN is that we offer free design and free shipping. So you can get as many designs as you'd like. If you get a design back and you tell us, hey, I really don't like that, it's not going to hurt our feelings. We'll go back to the drawing board. We'll keep on going. Once you get a design that you absolutely love, that's when we put you through to the fundraising stage.
Okay.
The purpose of the fundraising stage is that you're going to pre-sell your shirts or your item that you're fundraising with. The goal with that is that we want to keep cost as low as possible for those that are fundraising. So if you ordered bulk shirts up front and you just hoped that someone would buy them all, that's not being very wise with you raising funds. We want you to make the most profit possible. Right. So fundraising is usually 2 to 3 weeks. You sell them to your circle of friends and family. Obviously, social media is a big game changer with pre-selling shirts, sharing on Instagram, tagging Fund the Nations, really staying on top of things, setting your goals. So if you wanted to sell 100 shirts for your fundraiser, then our fundraising coordinators would walk alongside you and say, okay, here's what you need to do to get to that point.
Got it.
They would encourage you. They would pray for you. They're literally your right-hand person as you're walking through the process. So when the fundraiser closes, you place the order with us, and then we get the shirts printed for you. They're shipped for free directly to you. If you go the old school fundraising route, so I'll share a little bit about a different fundraising route in a second.
All right.
You get the shirts, you distribute them. It's as easy as that. And we are just so happy and grateful to work with you as you go through all the process. An alternate, though, we launched this probably about 2 years ago, is what we call FTN stores.
Okay.
And we really realized that there was a need with the world evolving and changing for online store setups.
Okay.
People wanted to kind of have a hands-off approach.
Sure.
Specifically as it relates to adoptive families, because they are already filling out paperwork upon paperwork upon paperwork. They have so much they have to get done. Well, if they create an online store with us, they're sharing a link, and they're not having to track everything on their own on pieces of paper. It's going through the online store. So we do offer that option.
Okay.
And I do have exciting news to share. We are getting ready to launch another platform. It is called FTN Campaigns. And what this is going to do is going to help those that are doing what I call old school fundraising.
Okay.
The ones that are not doing an online store. It's going to help them manage the process better. So it's a digital dashboard that helps you track your orders.
Okay.
So you can send the link to your family and friends. They can actually place the order through the system without having processing fees for PayPal or Stripe or whatever. And they can track the order that way. So a lot of cool things that have happened in the past few years, and we're getting ready to launch another really awesome things.
Well, so it sounds like y'all are busy.
Always busy. Always busy. Yeah.
And as you deal with people trying to fundraise, what are some of the roadblocks that people hit? Let's start with the external ones. What are the things that they need to overcome, that they just need to be told, okay, here's what you need to do to get past that?
Right. The worst that someone could say is no. Right?
Right.
If they say no, they say no, and that's okay. You have to be okay with being bold and putting yourself out there. I'm talking about adoptions a lot because I work with a lot of adoptive families every year with our big adoption campaign that we do. And I always tell the families that participate in that, you have to go. You have to be bold. You have to just be ready for whatever's going to come your way. It's going to take a lot of energy. But it's worth it because you are doing what you're called to do, whether you're going on a mission trip, whether you're launching a new business. Like, the worst that someone can say is no. So why not just go? Just give it a try. So the first step is being okay with hearing the word no.
Right.
But knowing that more than likely people are going to say yes because they want to support something. Like, we as human beings are all about supporting people. Mm-hmm. So I don't see or hear the word no a lot, but you have to be okay with that word. You have to be ready to put yourself out there. Whether it's just sharing on social media, it could be going door to door. I've had families who have created paper flyers and have gone door to door in their communities and just said, hey, I'm going on this mission trip. Or, hey, I'm getting ready to adopt a child. Would you be willing to help scan this QR code, order a shirt from our store, or fill out this form and I'll get a shirt to you.
Right.
So it takes a lot of boldness. It takes a lot of energy.
Sure.
But that's okay because it's a short amount of time, right?
Right.
You can do hard things for a short amount of time.
Yes.
We try to make it as easy as possible though. So external factors would be, getting okay with stepping out and taking that leap of faith. And then really just knowing that there is a way that things will be provided. Whether it's through a t-shirt fundraiser, I get to have coffee with a lot of people who are like, hey, I've already done a t-shirt fundraiser. What else would you suggest?
Sure.
There's so many ways to fundraise for things that you need to raise money for.
Right.
You can do, thinking locally, I know Tina Tatum does a lot of worship nights at the coffee shop. I mean, there are people in this specific community that are such big supporters of causes. So you can think outside of the box. You have to get creative. I think that might cover a lot of the external factors. So be bold, be okay with saying no, and just take that leap of faith and think outside of the box.
Now, do you have to set up a 501c3? Do you need to be tax exempt in order to raise money? I mean, aren't there some government regulations about getting people to help you with a project?
You don't. And I mean, if you're a nonprofit, obviously you're going to have probably some paperwork you have to file. But we always joke and say that if you're Madison from Ohio who is 23 and is going to Honduras, you don't have to worry about that at all.
Right.
I mean, you can just make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row. We have a great financial director at FTN. Her name is Amy, and she knows all the ins and outs of that. So if people have questions along the way, obviously we're here to help. But for the most part, it's just very straightforward. You're just raising money.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a moment and say thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Okay. If you're watching this particular episode and you're interested in learning more about Fund the Nations, we'd love for you to reach out to them. But we also love and appreciate our sponsors here at Southaven Business Beat. So we hope you'll stay tuned and stick around just a moment as we roll a few sponsored ads.
Make your next event unforgettable with the Follow app. Connect instantly, stay organized, and never miss an opportunity. Ditch the business cards. Go digital with the Follow app. Network effectively, exchange contacts seamlessly, and grow your business. The Follow app, transforming the way professionals connect at events.
Every brand has a story. Let us help you tell yours. At Pure Focus Media, we specialize in professional video production, photography, and drone footage that elevates your message and captures attention. From real estate to events, we deliver content that connects. Visit www.purefocus.media to schedule your next shoot. Pure Focus Media, where your vision comes into focus.
Now back to Southaven Business Beat and host Aaron Kozort.
Welcome back. We're continuing our discussion with Courtney Pinkston from Fund the Nations. And, you were mentioning right before we took a break that sometimes one of the biggest external barriers for people doing this is hearing the word no. And the reminder should always be there that for every time nobody ever asked, the answer was always no.
That's right.
So you only are guaranteed to get the answer no if you never ask.
Right.
So as you think about the clients you work with and the people you work with, why shirt fundraisers? Why not something else?
That's a good question. And know that I'm an advocate for any kind of fundraiser. I've seen it work so well in so many different realms. Usually what we find is that people like to start with a t-shirt fundraiser. And this is why. Because it gives them a reminder as they're doing other fundraisers or as they're walking throughout a process that they have something that they can support and that they can pray for. So people say, well, I have enough t-shirts in my closet. You probably do.
Right.
But do you have a shirt that reminds you to pray for the Madison from Ohio or for the family down the street that's getting ready to bring a child to their home?
Sure.
Do you have this tangible reminder to support and to pray for that person? So yes, all fundraisers are phenomenal. And I think that we're called to support. If someone is only doing a t-shirt fundraiser, what's one more t-shirt for your closet, right? We have really cool t-shirts too. We have all different styles of shirts. You can wear them different ways. Like you can make them stylish. What's one more t-shirt? If you don't want the t-shirt, that's okay. Still find a way to support them. Sure. Yes, we want you to buy the t-shirt because I work at Fund the Nations. Right. But at the end of the day, what we want you to do is help people change the world.
Sure.
However that is. So
what are the best practices then for a successful t-shirt fundraiser? Because I'm sure there can be lots of ways you can make it an unsuccessful fundraiser. So what are the best practices to actually succeeding with this?
My best tip is to keep it simple. You may have 20 ideas in your head. You may come to us and say, hey, I want to offer 5 different t-shirt designs on 5 different colors. I also want a hoodie and a sweatshirt and a tank top too. Yeah, we could definitely do that. But is that going to give you the most bang for your buck? Probably not. So keep it very simple. Think of the one design that you feel like would sell well to your audience. Think about who your audience is. Is it your grandmother? Is it your group of friends from college? Is it your church family? Is it the Southaven Chamber? Who is your audience? Because that's who you want to buy the shirt. You may not want to think about yourself throughout their design process. Like Courtney may want a globe, but the person down the street may actually want a shirt that has just a Bible verse on it or just an inspirational quote of some aspect. So you have to think about that. So keep it simple. Think about your audience. The other big thing that I encourage people to do is to set the goal. What is your t-shirt goal? Is it 50 shirts? Okay. Think about how you can practically get to that point.
Right.
You can't just share one time in person or online and expect 50 shirts to come your way. You have to step out. You have to do funny things. I've had someone say, if we get 100 shirts by 5 p.m., I'm going to shave my head. They did it. This was for an adoption. And really, the adopted families tend to do a little bit more than other groups of people. But I think anyone can stand to get creative with it.
Absolutely.
So set the goals. Consider what you can do to hit those goals. So what we did, keep it simple. Think about your audience. Step out, be bold with sharing, set your goals. The other big thing I would say is don't be afraid to ask for help. We have a team of people that have been doing this. The bulk of our team has been on staff for 7 years or more.
Okay.
We know what works. We know what doesn't work. We know how to help you get to your goal. So ask us, come to us and say, hey, I'm discouraged today. What do you recommend? And we may say, okay, let's look at what you're doing and how can we change this? Or I know I said not offering that many shirt designs and shirt colors. You could do a mid-fundraiser drop. So say you've only offered this one comfort color shirt with this design on it. Maybe you say, okay, guess what, guys? We're going to offer another color shirt, and you may get more sales. People may say, well, I want one in both colors.
Sure.
So that's part of being creative. There was one more thing that I cannot remember, and I may come back to it later, but basically it's just sharing. That's what it was. Share online. Tag Fund the Nations. If you're fundraising with us, tag us in your post. We have almost 20,000 Instagram followers. So we have people that look at our content.
Right.
So if you tag us, we're going to share it to our story.
Right.
Something else that I do recommend, if you're able, and only if you're able, is order the minimum number of shirts up front.
Okay.
That's 13 shirts. Not everyone can do this, and that is okay. But if you order the 13 shirts up front, you can do a mini photo session, and people love to see a shirt in person. So you have that.
Right.
But only if you're able. If you're not, get creative with Canva. Pretty much anyone can use Canva. We give you a digital mock-up. You can do whatever you want with that mock-up. I've seen people Photoshop the mock-up on like a famous person and put it on their Instagram story or whatever. So that goes back to the creativity of it all. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what are some of the things that you like best about working at Fund the Nations?
So funny because we had an interview, it was last week with a potential intern this summer, and she asked us this question. And I'd never been asked that question before. And I think the answer is very short and sweet. I get to wake up every day and I get to look in my inbox and know that there are at least 20 people that I'm helping change the world every day, maybe more. So multiply that by all of our staff members, whether they're designing a shirt or whether they're handling the accounting or whether they're ordering the shirts or designing the shirts. We all have this tiny role in helping people change the world. One of the coolest things that we get to do is we design shirts for Compassion International. And if you don't know what Compassion International is, it's a global organization that offers child sponsorships. So you can sponsor a child for X amount of dollars per month. When someone sponsors that child, they get a t-shirt. We had a small hand in allowing people to help change the world through this child sponsorship.
Right.
I work with a nonprofit in Kenya. They do child sponsorships too, and these are children that have disabilities and that are living in a malnourished environment.
Sure.
I help them with various fundraisers throughout the year, and it's really cool to see what comes of something as small as a fundraiser. So I get to tell people change the world. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
So as we go back to the idea of the stores versus the campaigns, tell me a little bit more. What differentiates those two?
Yeah. So stores are for those that may have people that don't live locally to them.
Okay.
They want to ship a shirt, and they want Fund the Nations to handle the fulfillment of that shirt. We recommend that they go the FTN store route. What happens is our fulfillment director, Grace, will set up an online store for them, and they share that link with individuals. Those individuals pay online. They pay for shipping. So the shirts are shipped directly to them.
Okay.
Now, with an online store, you do have the fees that are associated with that, like I mentioned before. If it's connected to PayPal, there's going to be fees that are taken out.
Right.
If you're doing an adoption fundraiser specifically, or if you're even a sports team, I usually always recommend doing an online store.
Okay.
Just because it's easier. You have a larger order number that's coming your way. Right. Now, for mission trips, as we're getting ready to launch what we're calling FTN campaigns, I would recommend that they go that route.
Okay.
You're not having to raise as much money. Your mission trip shirts are they're probably not going to hit this super high volume of orders. Like, it would be amazing if they do, but we're looking at probably around 100 shirts, whereas sometimes adoption campaigns get a little bit over that. Mission trip fundraisers are usually anywhere between, I guess I would say, 30 and 100 shirts. Right. So that helps keeps the cost low. So you're not having to pay that processing fee. It's just allowing you to track everything. But that also means that you're in charge of handling all the fulfillment.
Okay.
You're in charge of tracking who's paid, who hasn't paid, how they've paid, tracking what color shirt they're getting, what size shirt they're getting. Are they getting a youth shirt? Are they getting an adult shirt? So it's more hands-on, whereas the FTN stores is more hands-off. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is super easy. Right. Now, this FTN campaigns platform that we are launching is super, super easy. It's gone through a lot of beta testing. We are really proud of it, and we think that it makes the old school pre-sale route as easy as it can possibly be.
Great. We're sitting here in the Southaven Chamber of Commerce, and one of the things we always like to ask people, especially business owners and business people who come through our doors and join us on this podcast, how does the Southaven Chamber affect what you do?
Well, I am a product of a local chamber of commerce. I worked at a chamber of commerce in Corinth where I grew up while I was in college, did an internship there, and then did a little bit of a contract work after I graduated. So I've known the value of a chamber of commerce for over 15 years. It's really cool to see that it's the same here as it is in my hometown. When I walked through the door today, I got a hug, and where are your babies? their family. They know how you are. They know how to care for you. They see you. If someone comes to me, we work with a lot of new businesses in the area.
Sure.
They'll ask for advice, or they'll want to help with merch or any other thing. And the first thing I always say to them is, have you joined the chamber? Because the resources that are made available to you through the chamber are so beneficial.
Right.
It could be something as small as coming to a business to business or an after hours event, or it could be something as big as sponsoring an event. I mean, it helps in so many ways, small and large. And you have people that support you. I mean, like, I met you through the chamber, Aaron.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we've seen a lot of things, and we've done a lot of chamber lunches, and like, I call you a friend, and I know that if I need technical support, well, who's the number one person I'm going to call? It's Aaron. And I would think that if Aaron needs t-shirts,
I know
he's going to call me. So you have a network of people that come alongside you and support you and see you and care for you. And I think this chamber does a really good job of that.
Well, Courtney, thank you for joining us, and thank you for spending your time listening and watching Southaven Business Beat. As we grow, as this area grows, as the chamber develops, we love the fact that you're joining us. You're listening to the businesses and the heart of this community, because the people who run small businesses are the heart of Southaven. And so thank you for watching another episode of Southaven Business Beat, and we look forward to joining you again next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Southaven Business Beat. We would like to thank the following sponsor. Staying ahead in a world driven by technology is key. At Wisdom Integrators, we simplify tech solutions for your business. We specialize in customizing audio, video, and IT services tailored to your needs. At Wisdom Integrators, we don't just solve problems, we create opportunities. Wisdom Integrators, connecting your world, solving your problems. Would you like to be a sponsor of Southaven Business Beat? Please email us, info@southavenchamber.com. Be sure to share and subscribe for more business resources. Thanks for watching.